Welcome into Chatterbox Bearcats. It is the midweek show. I'm your host, Nick Niehaus. He is Eric Lilly, and we are sbrought to you by Martino's. Swing by Martino's on Vine, right on Short Vine, just steps from the University of Cincinnati, home of the best stromboli, huge, cheesy, perfectly seasoned dough wrapped around your favorite toppings. Game day Martino's has you covered. One of the best spots around to catch Bearcats games away or home. TVs everywhere, crowd energy on point, not a bad seat in the house. Perfect for watch parties. Lily, for the Iowa State game, instead of tailgating, I went to Martino's pregame. It was awesome. It was packed crowd.
You walked the talk right there.
I walked the talk. I did. And the energy was different in Clifton on Saturday. That's what happens when you beat Kansas on the road. And then, of course, what we're going to talk about, you take care of Iowa State at home. Is that the highest ranked win in almost 20 years, Lily? That is crazy. We are so back. I feel like I've been saying it to everybody all week. Everybody who's asked me, how are you feeling about the Cats? I say, hey, we're back. We are back.
I'm so happy. I was just the last couple of years walking out of the stadium, like that Pitt game, the Miami game, that feeling of just like, are you joking me? Like, we just lost that game. And of course, we start off hot and it feels like, oh, here we go again. Didn't happen. I got to shout out the team. Like, I know the refs, we had some issues with the refs. They had some pretty big mistakes, in my opinion. And the fans are really upset, as they should have been. I wasn't able to yell because my voice wasn't working, but I was trying. But I got to give props to the team. I thought they were composed, control of the game, even though it felt like it was switching. That 9-point lead always feels closer than it actually is to fans. But, there weren't personal foul penalties. There weren't fumbles. There weren't interceptions in the second half. There was complete control of the game, even though we couldn't score. And then we hit on that one big play. And I just thought, I was just sitting up there, after Goody scored, thinking, this is a good football team. We are seeing good things. The special teams is good. Are you seeing the special teams unit, Niehaus? Look at this shit. It's great.
Nathan Rusnak, we trust, right?
Fletcher had Fletcher's punt might have been the most underrated moment of the game, I think. Just while it felt like the momentum was shifting, pins him on the one. And last year we had that same exact chance for Pittsburgh. Same exact thing. And it goes into the end zone because we messed it up. So it's not just the punter, So just impressed all around. I thought even though we did give up 30 points, that I thought the defense was better than Kansas. So we still need them to get better, but I'm happy, man. We're watching a good football team, and now it's time to see if they can handle a worse team.
Oh man, that feels so good to hear. Evan Pryor, Tawi Walker, Brendan Sorsby, they've all gotten their flowers this week, rightfully so. Jake Golday as well. Shout out the offensive line: Joe Cotton, Evan Tangisdal, Gavin Gerhardt, Tarantino, DeAndre Buford. I mean, the offensive line, is that their third offensive line of the week?
Yep.
For in the Big 12. Hold up, I'm laughing.
Sorsby's gonna run out of money.
I was laughing because you were froze mid Cincy Light chug. So I couldn't get through that sentence.
Happens.
If you're on the YouTube, that was a good 10-second chug. Anyway, shout out the offensive line. So it's their third Big 12. I guess they give out an offensive line award of the week. That's their third one, right?
Yep, in a row. Impressive.
Yeah. So shout out to them. But I will say, we said it preseason, you do think that this is a star-studded team. Brendan Sorsby, and now he's got the on-3 guys, I guess, list their top 10 Heisman candidates, and he's in there. He's number 10 as a Heisman candidate by on-3. So he's a star. We've never wavered from that. Evan Pryor finally broke out some big runs like we saw last season. And Tawi Walker, my goodness. two of the biggest truck sticks against poor number 14. Oh my gosh, that Iowa State number 14. Yeah, he's probably in the rehab facility the past few days down there in Ames, Iowa, because Tawi Walker truck sticked him through the ground. I mean, that went super viral on Saturday. Two of the hardest hits you've ever seen. Kind of felt bad for the guy, truly. And I kind of felt bad for Rocco Becht because Simeon Coleman put him through the ground. I don't want to make it sound like I think I'm the smartest guy in the room, but like if you listened to kind of the pregame show of last week, I think me and you were in agreement. I was not really worried about this game. Like I did not see Iowa State as a team that had head and shoulders more talent than us. It's probably the first time in my life where I've seen a top 15. Like you look at that little number next to their name and you're like, man, that's pretty threatening. I wasn't threatened at all. And then, of course, the Bearcats themselves weren't threatened at all. The first drive of the game, they run right down the field and score a touchdown. So I think we just did exactly what we should have done, and that's take care of business against a team that we are absolutely better than.
Yeah, that's how you come out at home. Like the team seemed really prepared. They executed early, and just the second half of the Kansas game and the first half of the Iowa State game was just like, holy crap, what are we watching here? And like Isaiah Johnson popped up again with a big play. Noah Jennings, a couple big catches. It just feels like such a big change from last year to like, we're diehards, right? I can't even remember like the second, third, fourth receiver from last year. Like I can't even remember. And these guys are making big time catches, big time plays. It's somewhat different every day. Like it's Cyrus Allen. He had 22 yards. And we won the game pretty convincingly, in my opinion. I want to go on a little rant about the refs. That spam flag part, whatever. It happens. Like, I think we deserved a lot of those.
The illegal man downfield. I think those were probably warranted.
But I think like our fan reaction was like about other things, and then that happened, and it was like, okay, now I'm gonna get louder type thing.
Yeah.
The PI before halftime was absolute bullshit. We have 0 interceptions on the season. I'm putting an we have 1 interception on the season. Matthew McDoom got a pick, and we won this game by more than 8 points. That was bullshit. It gave Iowa State a chance. This game was a blowout. The post-game win expectancy was 100%. We dominated them. And then the illegal batting at the end, come on. The personal foul on Logan Wilson for tackling somebody. Logan Wilson can't WWE somebody to the ground. He's 180 pounds. That was I have a hard time picking one of those 3 as which one's the worst, but those are my 3 big gripes. We smoked these guys. We not only were like, they had the number next to their name. We're favored by 1. You're hearing all these talking points all week. We're the better team. How could you walk away from that game and say Iowa State's better than us? We have more talent. We have a better team. The only argument you can make for them really is quarterback, and I'm taking my guy, but it's close.
No, we absolutely were the better team. That pass interference was so bad.
Such a huge swing. Like
it didn't even look like the replay. Like the only I guess excuse is that he was behind the play, and the angle of which we see it on the replay is obviously completely opposite of what he saw. And that's where you're like, what a joke that was. Mm-hmm. Still awful. And that gifted them 8 points.
Yeah. Game's over if they don't get those 8. 31-7.5. You kidding me?
It's funny to talk about the wide receiver room, because going in, we thought it was going to be Jeff Caldwell, Cyrus Allen, Caleb Goody, 1, 2, 3, right? Well, Noah Jennings and Isaiah Johnson. I know you already went through everybody, but like there is no, and it's one of those things where it's kind of like the basketball team. There's no true number one. There's just a bunch of good wide receivers. Like everybody seems to be on the same playing field, which, honestly kind of probably stresses out the defense because you can't just hone in on somebody. Even though I guess they are with Joe Royer. Do we need to get worried about Joe Royer? And I feel like every single stat line is like 3 catches, 2 catches. He had 4 catches for 20 yards. He did have that touchdown where he did break that tackle. It was a really good play.
Fire celebration.
He's just not getting a ton of production.
I'm not worried, but I'm waiting for like that breakout of, in my head, once teams respect our receivers more, Royer's going to get some space and score. But he's scoring touchdowns, though. I think he has more touchdowns than he had last season already. And with how we've been in the red zone, which we've scored every time, which how great is that after the last couple seasons? My God.
Wow.
So he has 3 touchdowns. 2 of them are against Northwestern State. But he's going to be a part of our red zone offense all year. And I really think once teams start respecting Sorsby, our running game, our receivers, that Royer will kind of just start popping. But no, I'm not worried about it. I get it, though.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to have any negativity tonight because there's really none to be had. I mean, things are bright in Clifton right now, and I want to apologize for my week 1 Nebraska postgame show where the question was asked, do you think this team could win the Big 12? And I'm like, no, they're not winning the Big 12. They can definitely win the Big 12. This Cincinnati team
for sure
absolutely can. Well, I think obviously it's much more likely they get there than they win. I mean, obviously Texas Tech seems like they're head and shoulders better than everybody else, but I think Brendan Sorsby is the best quarterback in the Big 12. It's finally being recognized too. He's finally kind of putting people on notice. And it's not like all he does is throw. Like I do think he's probably the best pro style quarterback UC's ever had. Maybe that's a hot take, but I mean, 9 carries, 64 yards, that touchdown, like he's just fun to watch, man. Like he's a difference maker out there. And I know I've said every single time I've been on this podcast the last 2 weeks that I think he's a winner, but also I think he's damn talented. Like
he's got that edge.
Yeah.
Like that. A lot of quarterbacks don't have that edge. Like they're pocket passers. They'll run every once in a while if they have to, but he can do it all, and he's fine with doing it all. And you can tell the guys are behind him. That's like the most important thing of a quarterback, really. You have to have the locker room behind you, and he does. Yeah. I don't – I'm going to wait a little on best QB in the Big 12, but he – seriously, like –
who do you –
he's in the conversation right now. Like, serious, like Josh Hoover for TCU's I really like. He's been slinging it a little. Sawyer Robertson, Levitt, Sorsby. Those are the 4 for me right now. Baron Morton's up there too. Keeps getting hurt though, the Texas Tech quarterback. But in terms of the running attack you just mentioned, like with Sorsby, like he runs the ball enough now to where we could say we have like a 3-headed monster at running back, right? Or like not running back, but like running.
Yeah.
Like our running plays. Like I feel like we have a really, I know our offense is top 15 right now. I don't think we saw that coming. I said they need to be top 25, but my question now is like, how good can they be? Because if you have 3 guys that can run the ball at an elite level for their position and an assortment of receivers and a quarterback in a line that'll block in this league, like things can happen with that. Like we could be the best offense in the league if Texas Tech would settle down a little.
Well, Chuck said it on Saturday in the post-game instant reaction that, he thinks we likely have the best duo rushing with Pryor and Walker, but there's no doubt we have the best trio. There's no doubt. Like you mentioned, like Pryor, Walker, and Sorsby, 260. Well, I guess 264 yards, 3 touchdowns. We've seen it. We've been running all over teams. And again, you shout out the offensive line. You really do. It's funny how night and day it is than the team we watch on Sundays, but it's fun, Lily. The only other thing that I look at when it came to this game is the defense. And yes, we've been the worst completion percentage given up in the country. This defense knows how to tackle. They are one of the best tackling defenses I've ever seen when it comes to, University of Cincinnati football. I don't even know if they had like any every open
first
field
3 names that come to your
one-on-one.
head. Who are they? Because I wonder if they're the same 3 I have.
It's Golday, it's Sanks, and
My third is Christian Harrison.
Christian Harrison would be the
He
third.
had a big one. But Golden, when he tackles someone, they just go straight down every time, no matter who it is. That guy, he's going early in the draft. I know you're hearing a lot, but what does he not do? Impressive.
Yeah. Sunday Golday.
For Chuck, there we go.
Sunday Golday. Shout out Chuck. I'm going to be using that probably every single time. And then even Antoine Peak.
Yep, Peak.
I didn't grind the tape. I know that's not why people come and listen to this show, but I would be surprised if Iowa State had more than 3 broken tackles. Every single one-on-one, you just feel confident in the open field that they're going to have a successful tackle. I don't even know how else I would be able to say that. But it's the bend don't break will work when that's what you have, when you just keep everybody in front of you and you don't have mistakes tackling the football. I feel confident that this is probably one of the best tackling teams I've ever seen.
And you're putting some potential jinx in the air just to let you know, because UCF is going to run the ball every damn play on Saturday.
Yeah, let's get into UCF. I think that's enough Iowa State, unless you have anything about what that means. I mean, I think we've talked about it. I've been saying again all week that we are just back. The fan base has got to be back. The buy-in is back. The quarterback back, Sorsby again. I'm just so high on him. Anything about what that win means to just Cincinnati in general?
It's nice. I hope we take care of business the next 2 here, the gimmies, if you want to call them that, in the Big 12. And it's just nice to dude, I saw that truck, the Tawi truck, whichever one you want to say, could have been the first or the second. I saw it on Facebook. You don't see Big 12 football highlights on Facebook. That's a Twitter thing. That thing went viral as it can. Seeing former players tweeting. Group chats are way more active. We deserve this. It's been a while, and I hope they capitalize on it.
We absolutely do. Well, talk about UCF for Central Florida. They have a little quarterback situation going on. You want to talk about that first off?
Oh, man. So we talked about last week at Iowa State and their DB cluster injuries. UCF's got them at quarterback. They did not have a good quarterback room to start the season, probably one of the worst in the Big 12. And certainly not as bad as Oklahoma State, Virginia's, but right there. And they announced their quarterback till right before week 1. Cam Fancher he's from Huber Heights, Wayne. He's from Ohio. And he won the job, immediately got hurt. So then Taven Jackson got in, who used to play for IU. And they're still playing Ja'Carry Brown, who Cincinnati fans will remember from the UCF game last year. He was the surprise starter that no one knew existed. And he ran for 110 yards. He is dynamic on the ground. And I will say, all 3 of these guys are true dual threat quarterbacks. I think we're going to miss out on Taven Jackson. I think he's hurt. It was a re-injury. It didn't look good at his arm shoulder area. So if I had to guess, we're going to see Cam Fancher. He's a lefty. Probably going to have a lot of fans at the game because he's from Ohio. And if anyone watched the Kansas game, he looked pretty good for a little, but didn't end up getting a touchdown or anything like that. So, but some of our players know him because I tweeted about him and some of the parents responded saying like, that's a good guy right there. So that'll be interesting to watch. I think it'll be Fancher, but also worth noting that Ja'Cory Brown does still see snaps. He runs the ball. They use him running as a, second quarterback. And I'll let you introduce the running back, Niehaus, because I got a cough.
Oh, it's our good old buddy, Miles Montgomery. If you remember him, obviously, former Bearcat. That was like when UCF was all the fans were doing, dancing on our grave when all hope looked lost for the Bearcat program when they got him and they got Deshaun Pace. And did they reel somebody else in too from Cincinnati?
Brian Threats.
Yes. Well, Miles Montgomery is their lead back. 5 games, 73 rushes, 378 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Team captain.
He splits time with Jaden Nixon, who has more touchdowns. He has 4 of them. He is a transfer from Oklahoma State. Miles Montgomery, remember those days?
Yeah, and he is their number one, though. I know the Jaden Nixon thing looks pretty close. I watched, this is a sick moment here, but I've watched a decent amount of UCF this year, and it seemed like they were kind of just those early games where they're up big. They kind of took Montgomery out early. Man, make sure he can get through the season because he has had injury issues. And just to that point of injury issues, his career high for yards in a season is 428 for Cincinnati 2 years ago. If he gets 50 yards on Saturday, he will tie his career high for yards in a season. And he's a good running back. And to me, out of the 3 that left, he's the one that I respect, if that makes sense. He's going back home, bigger role. He's now a team captain. The other 2, nah, they can kick rocks. That's the nicest thing I'll say. But he, I hope he has a good season except for today, Saturday. Yeah. So we're going to see a lot of running. They are an ugly team. Scott Frost likes to run the ball. And he did have 110 yards and 2 touchdowns versus Kansas. My Kansas buddy was texting me during the game saying, what the hell is going on here? Who is this guy? Niehaus, if they score on a pass, I think I'm going to flip out because I don't know. These look at this. Their 3 quarterbacks combined have 4 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 1,000 yards. And they're playing, that counts the teams versus NCAA, stuff like that. That's the bad teams too. They do not throw the ball. They're not going to throw the ball. And I think we really need to just stop that run game, get the lead, and force them to do it. And that's how you can win a game like this by a lot. This is also the type of team we have to respect them because if they take an early lead and then we turn the ball over and they're getting chunk yards on the ground, that's when you can lose a game like this. So this is a big moment for this team to win a game like this, I think.
Yeah, Central Florida sucks. Their wide receiving core has 2 touchdowns on the year. Then their tight ends, of course, have the other 2 receiving touchdowns. You look at the schedule. They beat Jacksonville State, North Carolina A&T, and then they did beat Bill Belichick. They smoked Bill Belichick 34-9. That must be a dumpster fire over there. That must be a dumpster fire over there because then they lost 34-20 at Kansas State, and then, of course, lost at home to Kansas 27-20. Letdown spot is the biggest worry. I'm not worried about Central Florida being any bit better than us because they're not. Maybe look, these are college kids. You got to remember that. This is the most success we've had in a long time. Just reel it in. Take care of business.
They seem locked in the press conferences. Like all the players are saying the right things. I don't think they're going to sleepwalk into this. I do think there's a little of that in the Bowling Green game, but it might have just been Dante getting hurt and them not responding right. One other thing to note that I noticed in in my prep here is that UCF's defense, it's pretty good. Their D line is solid. They don't go after the quarterback too much, but their run defense is good. And no, it's not good. It's fine. But their pass defense is like pretty elite. Number 11 in the country in EPA per pass, second in the Big 12 in pass yards per game. And that might be a little – it's not even game scripty because they lost to Kansas in the fourth quarter. Like it's not like Kansas took the lead and didn't want to throw the ball. They have good DBs. And I think this is actually going to be a pretty good barometer for our offense. This might be it's not might. This is the best defense we've faced since Nebraska.
Am I at risk for getting clipped on
yes.
Just outwardly? Did you say yes?
There's UCF fans everywhere, man. On the internet, not in real life, just everywhere on the internet.
I'm at risk for getting clipped just outwardly saying they suck. I wasn't expecting you to say that they have a really good passing defense. You look at their DBs. Philip Dunham transfer from Indiana. Antoine Jackson transfer from East Carolina. Jaden Bellamy transfer from Syracuse and Notre Dame.
Another Indiana guy.
Is there any hope
that
Is there any hope from Central Florida fans? You think that Scott Frost can be turning this thing around? Obviously, they probably don't have the guys offensively this year, but what do you think about just that rehire?
They're pretty bought in. They'll give him a year or two. I don't think it's going to work. I have a little more faith in Rich Rod at West Virginia personally, even though it's an absolute train wreck right now. But we'll see. They might both have success. But one thing I forgot to mention with Taven Jackson, the quarterback, he actually beat Sorsby out for the job at IU. And then he got hurt. I don't know. Maybe he didn't get hurt. He lost the job midseason, and Sorsby won it. Coach got fired. They both transferred. So, and Sorsby talked about it in the presser. He's friends with these. They've been talking this week. He told him he's hurt, but he's going to try to. He's hoping he can play. So I thought that was an interesting storyline if they faced off against each other after kind of splitting duties that 2023 IU season. You saying that DB went to IU sparked that for me, but
yeah,
it's a couple little storylines. Also, we can play UCF next year. We got to call up Brett Dormark and figure out what the hell he's doing with these rivalries. Like Kansas State and Iowa State aren't playing next year. It's one of the biggest rivalries in the conference. You see UCF, it's like this rival that created in a different conference, brought to the conference together. Why are you taking that away for a year? It makes no sense. Same time zone and everything too.
Yeah. Look, you're going to have to make a call to Spectrum because
is it doing it again?
It is. It's brutal sometimes. And I get what you're saying. I think everybody listening is going to understand what you're saying. You got to figure out the schedule because we have to play UCF every single year. This, honestly, I've kind of talked myself in to being a little bit worried about this one. Just with the spot, coming off 2 huge wins, almost ranked. wouldn't it be the most Cincinnati thing ever to lose this game against a rival who is not good? Yeah, I honestly, I'm a little more worried about this one than I was Iowa State. And again, like, I don't want to seem, whatever, but I was not worried about Iowa State. I truly wasn't. It seems easy to say now, but this one's kind of got me. This one could be hairy, but not if I feel like this again is a barometer, like you mentioned. If we take care of business this week against Central Florida, you're thinking, okay, like we actually are back. Like it wasn't a fluke, these two games that we beat Iowa State and we beat Kansas. Like you can take care of the bad teams too. So,
yeah, this is the first time we're favored against UCF since 2021, by the way. So that's probably why you're nervous. And you're nervous because Miami, Ohio happened before the Oklahoma game. Like, we have a lot of PTSD with this stuff. So I'm nervous too. And I'm the optimist. One thing I'm not nervous for is Oklahoma State, especially if we look good in this game. So a great opportunity for the team to like just send a message like, guys, we're good. This is a really good football team. While our defense isn't perfect, we don't have any like glaring weaknesses anywhere on the field. Win the game, control the game the entire time, get the backups in the fourth quarter. Let's do some of that. This is our easy part of the schedule. We have to stay fresh. Utah is looming.
All right, huge one on Saturday because we can embarrass a rival and really solidify that we're the real deal. And a win on Saturday will have the Bearcats in the top 25 AP poll. Well, I think that's about it, except for some transfer portal news. Lil, you want to break down what happened yesterday when it came to, I guess we're going to have new regulations when it comes to the transfer portal?
Fans rejoice. Coaches rejoice. I don't think the players are rejoicing. I don't know. Maybe they are. There's going forward, starting this winter. It's starting right away. There will only be one transfer portal. Previously, there was one in the winter, one in the spring. For the people in the spring who wanted to change their mind, it's ridiculous, right? This is great for coaches to set their team in the winter, have your winter workouts, have your spring workouts, know who your team is. It forces players to make more methodical decisions. So this new portal is one window from January 2nd to 16th. It sounds short. It is short. But just remember, it's just to enter the portal. It's 2 weeks, get in. Someone can enter on the 16th and not commit till the spring if they want to like see if some quarterback gets hurt and transfer there. So, yeah, great news for college football, in my opinion. Coaches are going to sleep better at night. And we just don't have to deal with that fan tension of the portal just feeling like it's a 6-month thing.
Yeah, honestly, looking back, that's pretty crazy that was ever a thing because, I mean, you didn't even know who was on the team come April, So definitely better for everybody involved, I guess, except the players. But you know what? The players, they're getting everything nowadays. So, I guess
They'll be fine.
Yeah, they'll be fine. But all right, we're going to have the post-game show for you guys on Saturday. Hopefully taking home a rivalry win and fully getting ourselves back where we belong in the AP poll top 25. See you next time.